what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to put a border in your Automation Studio drawing. The other is we're going to talk about how to include a bill of materials. Yeah, that's what BOM stands for. So first of all, I want to jump into Automation Studio, and I'm going to actually show you how to put the bill of materials in. The reason I want to do that first is actually because after the very last thing we do is we put our border in. So let's jump into Automation Studio and take a look at adding a bill of materials. Okay, good. So I'm going to share my screen. Here we go, here we go, here we go. All right, AppStream. So I've jumped in AppStream. I put kind of a half-done drawing in here. It's not complete yet, but that's fine. Let's just pretend I've done a fully complete drawing, and I've labeled everything, and I've got all my port numbers, and it's working. I've tested it, and I'm good to go. Okay, what do? I want to add in a bill of materials. So you go over here, and this is really complicated. Watch this. You go over here, and then you just put it down in here. Ready? And you drop it, and it goes bam, it went over there. So you can move it around, and look at this. Here's your bill of materials. And that's it. It's done. It's done for you. It's nice and simple. You know, it's that simple, and that's it. You're done. So now we've got our bill of materials in here. You've got everything labeled. It's all good to go. So the very last thing you do is put your border in. So let's take a look at what the border is all about. Now, you have to make your own border, or you can use the one that I've just uploaded. And let me just show you the borders that I made. So if I go in here, I'm just going to go over to my images. I've got a border here. So, and I drew this in Paint. You know, you know me, I draw everything in Paint. But, you know, what I've done is I've drawn it. So this font is really, really large. So for instance, if I do this and I type in test, ooh, what just happened? Okay, here we go. Now that font is 18. So, and this font here is probably bigger than that. So that font over there is, I don't know, it's probably 22. Actually, it's probably even 36. Yeah, maybe 36 or even bigger. So maybe it's 48 or whatever. So it's somewhere in 36 and 48. But my point here is that if you're drawing stuff on Automation Studio here, so that date is probably, you know, font 40 or something. Whatever you draw in Automation, I mean, in Paint, if you do use Paint, just draw it like ridiculously large. And the reason is because if you copy that and you put it into a Word document, let me just put this down here. I'm just going to jump into a different page. If I put that into a Word document, look, when it gets small, if I have to sneak it in, it's not all pixelated. You can still read it, right? So if I were to actually see that on a piece of paper, I could still read that. It doesn't look all pixelated. So that's why I draw things ridiculously large in Paint. Okay, so what I'm saying is you can draw your own border in Paint or whatever other drawing program. I don't care what other drawing program you use. So you can do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to investigate how to put this into your Automation Studio drawing. So let's go on to Blackboard and take a look at what's going on. So if I go to Blackboard, you can see that this video is in here. This is the video that you're watching now. I spelled border wrong. Oh, that's weird. My fingers do funny things. I'm going to fix that. Okay, so what's going on is that you can click on drawing. Now watch this. You click on it, and it's going to open this up, and then you right-click, and you say Save Image As. So I'm just going to save it in here. I'm going to put it to my downloads or whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm going to put it in here. So I've just saved it in there, and that's fine. Actually, no, it goes to your downloads. That's right. So now it's on my downloads, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Automation Studio, and I'll have to insert that image here. So I can't just open that image up and say select all and copy and then close it and then just paste it in here, because this Automation Studio is online. Like, you know, it's a remote, you're remoting into the server. So what you have to do is you have to upload that image to your files here. And I think you guys know all about these files. So I'm going to upload the image. And right here, I'm just going to go to my downloads. And here it is here. So I'm going to do drawing outline. And now it's done. It's already here. Now what I want to do is I want to put that drawing outline here. So I'm going to go to this image, this picture tool, and I'm going to go like this. It doesn't matter how big I make it. It will adjust it later. So I'm just going to do that. Now, it wants to know which one of these to use. So I'm just going to, I mean, I've uploaded it 3 times, whatever. So I'm just going to use this one. Now, the thing is, this is going to be on top of what you've just drawn. And this is kind of getting into why I want you to do this very, very last. And I'm not sure why I didn't get on top of that, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to right-click on this, and I'm going to say, Order, Bring to Back. Order, Bring to Back. Now it's transparent. Now I want to resize it. Okay, that's looking good. Now, I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to hit Control, and I'm just going to zoom out like this. And I'm just going to make sure that this kind of fits in well. So I'm going to shrink that a little bit. You know, you might want to actually, I'm just actually thinking right now, I might want to change this and actually widen it a little bit. But I might actually want to do that in my drawing, in whatever drawing program I used, in this case Paint, just so that when I plop it in here, it still has the kind of rectangular shape. Now, in another video at some point for Lab 2, I'm going to show you how to change the attributes of your drawing and like zoom the drawing in itself. Like we're going to do this, document properties. Sorry, I'm just going to go here. I'm going to go to edit, and we're going to go into document properties. Can I not do that? Oh, view, sorry, document properties. And then down here, there are different ways to change the document properties and the layers and stuff. So if I were to move this to say 75%, and say okay, what it does is it actually changes everything. So I can actually shrink it, make it larger or smaller. So I'm just going to undo that. We'll talk about that later, so that you fit your image in perfectly. Now the thing is, this image needs to be moved around a little bit, but I can't move it around because this thing is in the way. So that's why I want to do this last. So what you can do is you can move this out of the way. Now that it's out of the way, you can grab all of this stuff and you can move that around a little bit. You got to make it look pretty. It's actually part of the marking rubric. If it doesn't look like it's centered and in the right place and stuff, that's not a professional drawing. So that's looking a lot better. You might even want to put your this guy down here. Now, I think for some reason I can move this independently. That's fine. So I'm going to put that there. So that looks a little bit better. And if you want, you can put a title up here, but we don't really need to do that because the title is in here. Put your student number and your name. Now I'm just going to zoom in here. I'm going to zoom down. So I'm actually using my cursor to, I'm holding the control key, and I'm just moving things around with as I move the control key and I scroll with the scroll on my mouse, I can zoom in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put text in here. So I'll go back to edit. Home. And I'm going to put a text in here. And then in this case, the date is, it's January 30th. January 30, 2021. Now, right now, that is probably too small. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go to the font. Now, there are a couple different ways to do this. One is I want to move this up a little bit. And I'm gonna double click on that, and now I can change the font. And the way I do that is I go to text. Sorry, and I go into here, and how do I change the size of the font? Oh, the font. Wait a second. This is the size, and then that's it. Sorry. Okay, so 13, 14 is probably 15 or 16 is probably going to fit really well. And I'm going to close that, and then that looks pretty good. Even, you know what? You might even want to make that a little bit larger. So I'm going to go into font here, and then I'm going to kick that up to like 18. See how that looks? Again, it's got to look good. You know what? No, it doesn't look good. It's not consistent. You want everything to look consistent. I'm going to actually go to 22 and see how that feels. So this font that I drew this in is probably like 22 or something. Okay, that looks a lot better. I'm zooming out. Oh, doesn't that look nice and pretty? Okay, so put your lab name in there, your student number, and your student name and your student number and all that. Looks good. Again, you can make your own. You can make your own border. It doesn't matter, whatever it is, or you can use the border that I put here on Blackboard, and that's fine. So now you know how to do that. And there is a marking rubric for the labs, and you guys saw that. It's in Lab 1. I think it's actually in the lab section. So follow those guidelines, and you'll be golden. Okay, bye.